This is the YouTube edition of my book, A Course in Miracles Workbook Nuggets, which is a study aid for the course's workbook for students. I'll begin by reading my book's commentary on today's lesson over a visual of the book's text. I'll then return with some further thoughts on the lesson, which are only included in this YouTube edition of my book. Today's lesson is part of a 10-lesson group that runs from lesson 301 through lesson 310, each of which relates to the second coming as understood in the course. I'll be repeating this same introduction for each of lessons 301 through 310, so you can skip past this introduction in the future if you like. Timestamps taking you directly to today's Workbook Nuggets commentary and my further comments are provided in the description below. In the course, the second coming does not refer to the bodily return of Jesus. Rather, it is each and every one of us, all of humanity, finally remembering who and what we are in truth. It is all of us remembering that together we are the sonship, the one self we all share, the Christ. In the words of the introduction, which precedes these 10 lessons, the second coming is, quote, merely the correction of mistakes and the return of sanity. It is a part of the condition that restores the never lost and reestablishes what is forever and forever true, end quote. In other words, it is our collective realization that the separation from God never occurred and that we remain as God created us, as his one spiritual child in heaven. Today's lesson from my book and my further thoughts, which are only contained in this YouTube edition of the book, follow. A link to the book on Amazon.com is provided below. Lesson number 302, October 29. Where darkness was, I look upon the light. Our Christ consciousness, the one self, is both the end we seek and the means we employ to reach it. This can seem odd or circular. The answer to the apparent circularity is that we are already at the end we seek. We just do not realize it. We have forgotten. We have forgotten that we are God's Son. Our self, our Christ consciousness, which still remembers, helps our ordinary consciousness, ego, to remember. Our self sees the light beyond the veil created by the ego. We are already home. Yourself, the Christ, is the part of your mind that allows you to remember that. When you do, when you see from the perspective of the one self rather than your ordinary consciousness, your ego, you see light where before you saw darkness. The title of today's lesson is, Where Darkness Was, I Look Upon the Light. The Course offers us a very clear and simple choice. You are presented with an actual offer that you are free to accept or refuse in any situation or moment. Will you look out onto a world of separate people and things, some lovely but many not? Or will you look through the surface to an underlying sameness, an intelligent unity which is best described as light, joy, growth, and love? In other words, will you see with the ordinary consciousness of your ego, or with the eyes of Christ. That is, from the perspective of the one self, which we all share as the child of God. As we are told in today's prayer, quote, "Now we see that darkness is our own imagining, and light is there for us to look upon." Christ's vision changes darkness into light, for fear must disappear when love has come. Let me forgive your holy world today, that I may look upon its holiness and understand it but reflects my own. End quote.